everyone, and welcome again to a little bit of insight into who our award winners for IAIA 24 are. Now, the next award winner you're going to meet is someone who is already very, very familiar to many of you. And this is really aimed at that Distinguished Service Award for someone who's contributed enormously to IAIA over many, many years in a whole variety of capacities as volunteer, board member, chair, president, committees, you name it. And this man has done it. So I'm really delighted to be joined by Yao, who is going to tell us a little bit more about himself, although many of you may already know a lot about what he has done. But look, thank you for joining me, and welcome to this conversation as to introduce you to those members who do not know you perhaps as well. So first question, really.
Yes, thank you, Gary.
Well, first question, to really just to kick things off is, clearly you've had a very, very long distinguished career in impact assessment, in different continents, different roles. I mean, what are some of the highlights that perhaps you would point to as to things that have really, had most meaning to you or you're most proud of, across that career that you've enjoyed?
That's a very difficult one because there have been so many highlights, so many high points, and since my first attendance of IAIA in 1996 in Lisbon, Portugal. That's about some 20 years ago. I never look back. It's been a great opportunity to be part of that family. I have learned so much from others. The happenings in the impact assessment field in the different jurisdictions. I've shared experiences with many people, and network with senior professionals and practitioners, some of whom have become very close friends. And there's been opportunity for even job referrals from some of these, friends, and an opportunity even to work in partnership with some of them. IAIA is a wonderful family for job for building one's capacity as well as the confidence, building the confidence in the field of impact assessment because of the regular interactions and the opportunity to network. And then through IAIA's contribution, Ghana became a powerhouse of impact assessment in Africa in the mid-1990s, thereabout, attracting other African countries, especially from East Africa, to understudy the Ghana EIA system. And in all this, it's been, the capacity building opportunities I had with IAIA and others. And the way it happened was like this. At the first IAIA conference in 1996, we presented 2 papers. And subsequently, it's been paper presentation. And the first paper we presented, for instance, was on developing EIA procedures for a developing country, the Ghanaian experience, and then developing local capacity in impact assessment in Ghana. And we did this with a view to getting affirmation or criticisms so that we can eventually improve upon our homemade EIA system. So IAIA has become part of me, and every year I look forward to attending and to learning new things and to interacting with colleagues and friends.
So yeah, that brings me on to my next question, which I guess is, you've outlined something of your experience with IAIA through all the way back to that first conference. But as a young professional coming into impact assessment now and perhaps looking at IAIA, what would you say to them are the real benefits you've got from volunteering and that networking? What would you say to them in terms of the benefits of volunteering?
Yes, the wealth of resources presented by IAIA at the annual conferences and other opportunities are enormous, and all this will be at one's disposal. And this include the opportunity to meet with accomplished professionals from academia, industry, consulting firms, civil society organizations, and other international financing institutions, even including one's country's environmental protection agency and other officials. So you'll get to meet an array of professionals that, of course, you would regularly encounter in your work. Then there's opportunity to network with some of these professionals who would guide you in developing your own professional career or niche. And even the possibility of gaining employment or part-time jobs or attachments or even internships, and in some cases even possibly admission to do higher academic programs in some of the universities, because we'll be meeting some of these professors. So the opportunities are just limitless. And this is how some of us developed our own careers and our capabilities, becoming consultants who are sought after now, and then delivering training in all manner of areas within university, setup, and then providing, in my case, even becoming impact assessment trainer for the World Bank and IUCN for the whole of West Africa, and lecturing in the university in IAIA and environmental law, and so on and so forth. So the opportunity is just limitless for any young professional to have such an opportunity.
No, that's a very clear explanation. I think it's probably quite challenging for anyone to live up to all those opportunities, but you've clearly benefited enormously from it. Maybe one final question actually is, we sort of talked about your experience both as volunteer and your professional sense. If I step back a little bit, obviously there's a lot of pessimism around, where the environmental challenges that we're facing, whether that's in Africa, whether it's elsewhere in the world. I mean, where do you stand on that? How optimistic are you that we are making progress? There's still that collective will to make a difference. Have you got a view on that?
Yes, and I am very, very much optimistic. Impact assessment has the potential to offer invaluable contribution to addressing some of these worsening environmental situations, be they from the climatic end of climate-related issues, sanitation, resource exploitation, deforestation, and whatever. The potential of impact assessment in dealing with these issues must be publicized, must be advertised, and the knowledge must be shared, especially among policy and decision makers, and so that they become aware of this potential tool. And I think that is very, very crucial. I remember in Ghana here, the president declaring that Accra will become one of the cleanest cities in the world. And I immediately said to myself, this is an issue for impact assessment. Unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of that, and now we turn around to blame the president for not achieving what he promised for Accra, the capital city. But I think it should have been picked up by the relevant institutions in charge of impact assessment administration and pushed forward to achieve the results desired by the president. So impact assessment practitioners must translate impact assessment into simple, practical, resource-oriented outcomes to create the needed confidence in policy and decision makers, and for them to feel the need to promote and also deploy the tool. And I think we must be ready to critique and challenge ourselves in this direction, so that everybody will see that impact assessment is not just an academic discourse, but something that has practical use and benefits.
No, I look. I think that's a great way to end that conversation. I think it's a challenge we're all facing, and IAIA has to lead on that. How do we adapt and adopt and move from the theoretical and the abstract to the practical? And look, you spent your whole career doing that successfully, so I think you're a very, very worthy recipient of that Distinguished Service Award. So thank you very much for spending some time with us today, and I look forward to seeing you in Dublin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Joe.